What's up, guys? Today I just want to walk you through one of the articles from the magazine. I thought it'd be cool to read through it, kind of give some extra insight, and show you guys some of the pictures that didn't make it in the magazine, because I have a ton of build progress pictures that he sent through, and I think it'd be really cool for you to see those as well. So this is Andy's 1978 Malibu, and he bought this car when he was 14 years old, and he's now 45. So you can see that this car means a lot to him and has been with him for a very long time. 31 years in the making, this 1978 Malibu has been down a long road filled with hardship. Andy from Fort Smith, Arkansas, got this particular car at the age of 14 from a field for $100. Hot rodding was in his blood. His dad had a lot of older hot rods, and his uncle and father built and raced dirt track cars. Over the next year, Andy and his brothers and his dad built the car to be roadworthy with a 406 stroker small block and a turbo 350 transmission. Within 10 minutes of wrapping it up and firing it for the first time, it had to come back apart. We completed this when I was 15, and as soon as we got the car wired and fired, I'll never forget my dad jumping in it and driving it like he stole it. He pulled out of the driveway, started to turn the corner, and hammered down. The car went sideways and the back of it went off in the ditch and then back out, and he over-revved the engine and hurt it. He limped it back to the driveway, making noise and smoking, and we popped the hood and started pulling it right back out, recalls Andy. In went a 383 stroker that they had been building, this one with a little more care and a proper break-in. At 16, he drove this car to high school on and off until he saved enough money to buy the Harwood hood scoop he had always wanted and got his first paint job done. Taking auto mechanics all through high school gave Andy access to everything he needed to build a wicked set of double hump heads for it. Andy's friend, also named Andy, had a 1972 Chevy truck with built heads as well, and they both got into street racing and racing at an old local airport on the weekends. I was at the airport one weekend and ended up racing my brother and his square body big block Chevy truck, and that was the first time I tore my car up pretty good. In high gear, almost to the finish line, the drive shaft broke, and each rotation was hitting the ground and trying to catapult the car in the air, which caused me to lose control and start spinning out of control. Luckily, the car finally came to a stop, says Andy. My new Flowmaster exhaust that was installed that day was destroyed. Drive shaft and transmission were broken pieces, and several holes were beat through the floorboards. A guy volunteers to bring his truck and trailer down to haul me off the track, so a group of people pushed me up on the trailer, and I asked where the straps are to hold the car. He states, just hold the brakes and it'll be fine. So he hauls me down the track and gets to where he needs. My car rolls off the front of the trailer and hits the back of his new Dodge truck. Now the car is hanging off the front of the trailer, and several people from the crowd come over and literally pick the front of the car up and roll it back on the trailer, he remembers. Andy takes the car back to shop class and fixes it up just in time to graduate high school and leave his mark on the pavement out front. The experience paid off, and Andy went on to OSU to become an automotive technician. He worked at his local Ford dealership and spent all the time and money he had building the car into a beautifully straight burgundy big block 427 caged race car. After running 9.7 seconds at 1,000 feet, him and his old friend Andy decided to put a 250 shot nitrous plate on the car just before he raced his other friend Justin Martin, aka Red, who was running a big block Nova on nitrous. Andy won with 8.61 versus Red's 8.62. As luck would have it, while racing at Centerville Dragway sometime later, Andy would go to launch the car and shoot the driver's side axle out the side of the car. The axle and wheel spun so fast that they swung around and caved in the driver's side door. After college, Andy met his bride-to-be, Heather, and bought a lake house, so the money just wasn't there to work on the Malibu. In 2011, Andy and Red opened their own shop called Professional Auto Care, where he got back to working on the Malibu, including a 477 big block with aluminum heads, which he set the Pro Street track record at Centerville Dragway in 2012 with a 5.87 at 118 miles per hour. In 2013, Andy sold the 477 to his brother and bought a 565 that he took to Gaines Grinding to build up with nice internals, dart heads, and an induction solution fogger put on it. At this point, the Malibu was blowing through the torque converter and still running 5.5s. Nostalgia hit, and he realizes that this was his first car. Still all metal with a full interior, Andy starts to hunt for another Malibu to build into a proper car and save this one. As all this is taking place, a couple of months later, I take my car to a small tire shootout, and that's where, for me, tragedy strikes. The guy I was racing had a freeze plug come out of his motor and started pouring water out, which made him lose control and come over into my lane. I hit the brakes and swerved to miss him, and then that's when I went through the water and lost control and hit the wall. I was rattled, but okay. And as for the Malibu, it was not looking so good because the whole front of the car and driver's side was damaged. I got the car home in the garage and spent a week staring at it, sick to my stomach, says Andy. A month later, he found a green Malibu for his drag build. The drag car got a full fiberglass front end and was able to donate the front body panels to this Malibu. So begins the build for the version of the Malibu you see today. The build is plagued with setbacks, like a severe back injury that put Andy in the hospital and needing back surgery, a high-end shop that takes Andy for $30,000 before he takes it back from them, parts, money, and progress completely lost to the closure of AccuAir in 2020, and completely rebuilding the LS twice due to metal in the motor, transmission overheating issues, and at the end of 2020, Andy came close to losing his life to COVID. Luckily, he made a full recovery and finished the car just recently in March of 2023. The build process wasn't all bad, though. Andy reunites with friends in the automotive industry and makes sure that everything is done right. Undeniable experiences and memories, and even the adoption of his second daughter. The motor was pulled from a 2002 Tahoe, completely built by Gaines Grinding, with a Stage 4 BTR cam and valve train, new crank rods, pistons, and everything else to support twin turbos. Kevin's shop built a stainless steel fuel tank, headers, and all the plumbing for the hot and cold sides of the 67mm precision turbos. To power everything, Andy wired a Holly Dominator EFI system with Holly dash, and then the system was tuned by JP. The exhaust and tubing for all the turbos has all been ceramic jet hot coated. All in all, the car makes over 1,000 horsepower on 8 to 10 pounds of boost on 91 octane fuel and is his daily cruiser. The transmission, also from the Tahoe, is a 4L60 rebuilt with billet components for strength and a TCI shifter. Ron Lewis from Lewis Body Shop in Greenwood, Arkansas, took over the bodywork and paint and nicknamed the car FTD Malibu. Fun damn times. Ron redid the floor pans and supports, the firewall, narrowed the front frame, and cut and narrowed the bumpers. Ron also hand-built inner fenders and painted the car with DuPont Chromomax Tri-Coat Ruby Red. All the chrome work was done by Paul's Chrome, and the glass was installed by Mark Oliver with Professional Auto Glass. The glass itself had to be sourced from all over by a hired company. It is said to be the last of all the new and new old stock glass for a 1978 Malibu in existence. Ed Bass from Arizona, where he worked for Barrett Jackson, spent over 100 hours cutting the car, starting with 1500 grit and working his way up to 5000 grit. He put the car through several different stages of buffing and even did the door jambs. His hard work shows. The interior dash, center console, rear structure with built-in speaker boxes, hideaway for the air tanks, amps, compressors were built by Ron. Then longtime friends Delbert and Donna Hicks with D&D Upholstery took on wrapping and stitching all the upholstery for this beautiful interior. The car comes with some insane features like AC, cup holders, heated and cooled seats, air ride, power windows and locks, and a custom stereo including two 10-inch subs. The Malibu rides on airlift, air ride, and RideTech shockwaves. The cooling consists of a custom radiator with twin Spall Pulse width modulator fans. Andy and his family enjoy cruising the car regularly, doing awesome burnouts, going to car shows, and even driving to church on Sundays. This car is literally a dream come true after an 8-year build, and being in a magazine is also a big dream come true. In the end, after so many days away from my family, busting my ass on the car, and my friends helping me out for pennies on the dollar, it came out better than I dreamed, says Andy. I would like to thank Ron Lewis from Lewis Body Shop, Kevin Strobel from Strobel Race Cars, Ed Bass, the Buff Master, Delbert and Donna Hicks from D&D Upholstery, Mark Oliver from Professional Auto Glass, Jim Pete from Tuned by JP, Perry Standridge from Johnny's Transmission, Brian Gaines from Gaines Grinding, my shop, Professional Auto Care, my wife Heather, and my daughters Abby and September Joyce. I'm sorry if I left anyone out. Thank you for allowing us to feature your beautiful Malibu in the magazine. So that was Andy's 1978 Malibu, and that was featured in our August issue of the magazine, which was also our 1-year anniversary issue. If you didn't get your hands on this one, head over to cruisecultureapparel.com and check it out. I have copies of this available, as well as our latest issue for February, and you can order both of those online and check out everything else we've got. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, and if you wouldn't mind subscribing. And if everyone likes these, we'll do a couple more of these videos, because I've got lots of extra pictures on a lot of these rides, and I think it'd be pretty cool to have the opportunity to share more of them with you. So keep cruise culture alive.